Hi everybody, I'm Patty, Rockstar Mom, and welcome back to my channel. I saw Nathalie the Beauty Diva do a really neat video a couple of days ago, and it was her top 15 products for 2015. And I thought, what a great idea. And Nathalie did say, and by the way, I'll list Nathalie's channel below, but Nathalie did say that she found it very difficult to narrow it down to 15, to find 15 that I truly loved. Now this is just color cosmetics, it's not skincare. So what I thought I would do is show you what I really think are my top 15 favorite products that I used in 2015. And they'll be by categories. Let's start off with concealer. And for concealer, without a doubt, my top pick was the Laura Geller Real Deal Concealer. I've been using this for the last few years. It continues to be my favorite. So the Laura Geller Concealer. This is the real deal. For foundation. And for my foundation, I've picked 3 because these truly are my 3 favorites. And although I switch back and forth in foundations and I'm trying to use some up, these without a doubt are foundations that I will purchase again. I have purchased over and over. This had been pushed back to the back of my drawer, and I pulled it out a few days ago and have been wearing it. In fact, I took it, we went to see a bowl game, and this is the only foundation that I took, and I wore it for 3 days, and I just love it. The key to this, I think, is with any mineral powder, is buffing it in. They're milled so finely that when the friction from the buffing causes them to become cream-like, and they just look better on your skin, or at least they do for me. So the harder I buff, the better this looks. I love it. The next foundation that I've picked for one of my favorites is one that I heard about from Melissa 55. Again, I'll put her name below, down in the doodly bob. But this is the Milani Cream to Powder Foundation. I wear the 07 medium beige. And look, you see that hair? It's just the cream to powder foundation, has a sponge underneath that you can use. And I heard about this from Melissa back midsummer maybe, and I have gone through maybe 3 or 4 of these. That's the only downside, is that they don't last very long. Or maybe I use a lot, but I love this. The last one that I want to show you that is absolutely one of my favorite foundations is the Circa that you get from Walgreens. I first heard about this from Susan of Little Poet, and this is Color Balance Liquid Foundation by Circa, or Circa is the name of it. And I believe you can only purchase this at Walgreens. I love the consistency. I love the coverage. I love the way it settles on my face. So 3 favorite foundations for 2015. I have everything beside me, so if you see me look down, that's what I'm looking at to see what I'm going to select next. The next thing that I want to talk about, and I'm going to sort of skip around maybe, but I've only picked one blush because I truly believe this blush works with everything. And it just grabs just enough powder on my brush so that I don't overdo it, but it's enough that I get coverage very easily with it, or I get enough product on my brush. Again, it's by Milani, and it's their baked blush. And the color that I love is 05 Luminesso. And you can see that it's pretty flat here. I use this almost every day. I did not bring a bronzer in because I'm almost out of my bronzer, and I'm going to, even though it's one of my favorites, it's the Rimmel Sunlight. Back in the summer, when I first heard about those horrible, when I first learned that many cosmetic companies use carmine in their color products, and carmine is dead insect shells, or dead insects basically, and it's been used since Cleopatra, maybe before, but there are other ways to get colors into color cosmetics now, especially blushes and lipsticks and bronzers, so that you don't have to use the carmines. And so I'm trying very hard not to use any products that contain carmines. But when I first learned this, I decided to try Pacifica, and I purchased this little palette. And I'm not fond of palettes, although I have so many of them. And the reason I don't like palettes is because I never use a lot of what's in them. I usually only use one or two things, and it's the same with this palette. It's a full face palette, meaning blushes and eyeshadows. And this blush I don't like because it's just way too pigmented. But this bronzer, I absolutely love, and I use it mainly in this area to sort of try to conceal my double chin. So I love that bronzer, and that's the only one I'm using. And while I have this palette open, I'll show you eyeshadows. That is my favorite, and it's this one right here. And on the Pacifica palettes, they do not list the colors, but this is sort of a mauve brown, or mauve brown, and it's this one right here, and I've just used the heck out of it. But I've used like nothing else in it. They're just not colors that are good for me. And why would we ever wear something that is not a good color for us? Speaking of eyeshadows, the first one, and these are probably my two all-time favorite. The first one that I wear pretty much every single day is the NYX, the NYX, and this is I Have a Headache. And you can see there I've hit pan, and I go through this color like crazy. The 99.9% of the time I only use two colors or two shades of eyeshadow, a light and a dark. And the other one that I'm in love with is Skinny Dip, and again, this is by NYX, NYX, and you can see that one. Also on eyeshadows, this is a Coastal Scents palette, but I have more than Coastal Scents in this palette. I'm going to try to open this as best I can because some of these don't fit. These are Coastal Scent shadows right here, and don't those colors look familiar? And these colors, these little pans fit down in the holes, but they're not magnetized to work with this case, so they slide around. But these are MAC shadows over on this side. And I have to tell you that for me, and this is just for me, none of these shadows work as well as these two. It's for me, as well as the NYX. But I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with this palette in just a minute. The next thing is my e.l.f. High Definition Under Eye Setting Powder. I love this. I always have a backup of this because I'm so afraid that e.l.f. is going to discontinue it, but I love this. I put this on a fluffy brush and I just dab it on under my eyes over my concealer, and if I put concealer in my marionette lines, I just lightly powder those in too with my e.l.f. High Definition powder. For my eyebrows, I just cannot get enough of this Forever 21 pencil. It's a mechanical pencil in gray, and I have other brow products, but I always go back to this one. I love it. It has the spoolie on the end. I'm not real sure if you can still get it at Forever 21. It's just like $3. I have 3 or 4 of these as backups. For lips, my Old Faithful Rimmel pencil in Cafe au Lait. I use this almost every single day, either by itself all over my lips with the gloss on top, or I line and then maybe put something on top. My second favorite is any brand of the long-lasting lip polishes or lip colors. This is the Maybelline Super Stay 24 Hour. I love these. My lips are so small to start with. As I've aged and my face is falling, my lips are turning under, and I need something that I can draw my lips on with and know that they're gonna. Many days, this is the gloss that I use with this pencil. Now, what would all of this be without a good brush? And again, Melissa55 came to the rescue. Back in the summer, she talked about this Kat Von D brush. I do not know the name of it, but this is my favorite shadow brush of all time. As I said, it's Kat Von D. It comes in its own little carrying case, and the brush looks like this. It has a fluffy end. It's synthetic hair, by the way. It has a fluffy end and a pointed end, and that's a brush, not a smudger. And I use that in conjunction with my color switch. And I did a video about this a long time ago, but if you've not seen these, I love this. It comes in a little tin, and it's, I don't know what this is, but it's like a little foamy, meshy, filtery looking product. And what I do with this brush, this is the only eye brush I use, period, since I got it. I've not used another eyeshadow brush. What I do is I use the fluffy end and I put my light color on, and then I rub it off on the little color switch. Then I dip this end into my darker color, and I do my crease and the outer corner, wipe it up. I wipe between no matter if I'm going to use it again immediately, I've gotten into the habit of wiping it off. Then I go back in with the clean, fluffy side, and I do all my blending. And I wipe it off if I need to and blend. Maybe I need to add a little bit more color, but I'm constantly wiping my brush off. This is the only brush I've used. I love it. I'm getting ready to go back and purchase another one of these so that I have a backup. I don't want anything to happen to this. Also with the color switch, and the color switch is one of my 15 top favorite products. What I do with my brushes, since I'm using this, and I use this for my blush brush too, and my powder brush, I don't have to wash my brushes as often because they don't get dirty. I will get some residue, some powder residue in the bottom of the tin, but about every day or so, I take this to the sink, wet it, put some mild shampoo or soap on it, and just really massage it and squeeze it and rub it and clean it really well. Squeeze it out, wrap it up in my towel, squeeze it out, and just lay it on my sink, and it's completely dry in an hour or so, ready to be used again. I love this. I know there are a lot of dupes for this. A lot of you have told me the things that you use instead, but this is real inexpensive. It's just easier for me. For 2015, it's hard to believe that we're already in 2016. And for the past probably 3 to 6 months, I've really been thinking about excess. And many of you know that Elle asked me to participate in her Makeup Use Up collab for 2016, where we're trying to use up some of our product, some of our stash. And I was so thankful that Elle asked me to do that, and I'm working diligently on it. But already before that, I was thinking about really paring down, because I do have favorite products, and I'm not on a no-buy. That's not what this is all about, because I love makeup. I love all the colors. I'm an artist. I love colors, and that's what draws me to all the palettes and to all the pretty colors of makeup. And also, we're always on that quest for the next best thing. But as I said earlier, I'm using products already that I love that work for me. So what I'm going to be doing, and I've really been thinking about this, I don't know if I'm going to use this case, but I will use something similar to it. I will have to take the insert out of this, and I'm hoping that it's glued down so that I can get it out with my hot air gun. But what I'm going to do with this case, and I like this case because it's deep, and it's the perfect size, but I am going to depot my favorite products that I've just shown you. The eyeshadows, the blushes, the bronzers, anything that's a powder. I'm going to depot it and use a piece of magnet on the bottom of this, and I am going to put everything in this one palette so that when I get ready to do my makeup, this is all I need. When I travel, this is all I need. I could even put my blush on with this little brush I have before, as long as I have my color switch. So I've been what I call leaning into this, as I said, for months now, and I'm ready to do something about it. I'm going to get my favorite products in one place, and I'll see what I do with all of the rest of that I have. And I truly do not have a lot because I've been paring down a little for the last year. So I will keep you posted on how this works, and I may even film setting this up in case any of you want to do it. I've not done anything like this, and I know there are quite a few videos on depotting here on YouTube, so I've already watched a couple. I know I can do it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed yet, I sure hope you will. You'll get a notice every time you click onto YouTube when I've put up a new video. I love each and every one of you. I appreciate you more than you will ever know. Just more than you'll ever know. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for giving me a thumbs up, and thank you for liking me. Thank you for sharing my videos. I know many of you share my videos, and I appreciate it so much. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful, joy-filled 2016.